Hello guys, most welcome UPSC Welfare. See, in this video tutorial, we will talk especially the structure of Indian economics. All the questions which have been already asked by UPSC in previous year of prelims examination from 1995 to 2018. Approximately it will be less than 100 questions, and within a 2 to 3 video tutorials we will cover all the UPSC of, especially we will focus on the structure of Indian economics. These all are very important because as we know that within 100 questions, yes, mostly question is repeated again and again by UPSC. So let's have first question here. See, according to census 1991, yes, highest percentage of population in India is to be found in the age group of, what was that? Yes, 5 to 14 years. This is absolutely correct here. D will be. Second questions, which of the following pairs are correctly matched? Let's have. Increase in monetary expansion, absolutely correct. Low import growth rate in Indian, recession in Indian industry, and euro issue share held by Indian company in euro countries. Not. That will be absolutely wrong. So as we know, if we eliminate of the three, then see, no need to go for anywhere. By elimination method, it's easy. And portfolio investment, of course, and there is no doubt, and that's a foreign institutional investor. Why it is so? Because as we know, euro issue include the issue of ADR. ADR is just standing for American Depository Receipt, and GDR can be also included, that is a Global Depository Receipt. So asking, as we know, has been initiated during 1992, under which the Indian companies are permitted to raise foreign currency resources through, yes, issue of foreign currency convertible bonds, that is in abbreviately, of course, I can say FCCB, that is your foreign currency convertible bonds, and the issue of ordinary equity share through Global Depository Receipt, that is your CDR, and of course American Depository Receipt, that is your ADR, to foreign investor, institutional investor or individual including NRI, yes, residing abroad. So that's why, of course, definitely we have to eliminate of the three. So now it will be A answer, absolutely here. Let's third questions, which one of following is true regarding the Jawahar Rozgar Yojana? There should be no doubt, as we know Jawahar Rozgar Yojana, yes, launched in 1989 to provide around 100 days of employment to rural unemployed. So which will be, it aims to creating millions of the jobs? No. So as we know, let's have here, B will be wrong, of course. It was launched during the prime ministership of Indira Gandhi. No, that is wrong. Of course, a target group of Jawahar Rozgar Yojana are the urban poor living below the poverty line. That is also wrong. So now we have the choice one. And of course, I can say strongly that in this scheme, in especially 1989, the government also focused on 30% of employment generated is reserved for women empowerization, of course, for women. So that is reflected women empowerization, of course. Now, for number C, Narasimha Rao Committee, of course, for financial sector reform has suggested reduction in where? There should be no doubt, of course, SLR and CRR and priority sector of financing. So here B will be correct, no doubt. Why it is so? Because as we know, Narasimha Rao Committee for Financial Sector Reform 1991, yes, it has suggested reduction in SLR and CRR and priority sector financing, reducing it from 40% to a 10%. Most of the suggestion of committee were not implemented yet. So B will be the correct answer. Fifth number questions, the one of the reason for Indian occupational structure remaining more or less the same over the years has been that investment pattern has been directed toward the capital intensive industry. Productivity in infrastructure has been high enough to reduce the people to stay with the agriculture. No, that is wrong. But see, A is going to be right because investment pattern has been directed toward a capital intensive industries, of course. Because of course, we in the favor of the A option, of course, I can say that capital our economy of course our economy planner are not emphasizing development of a small scale industry in the plan strategy. That's why of course A will be correct, because here question is asking occupational structure remaining more or less in the same over the years has been. So 5 is going to be A. Of course, it has been very clear because investment pattern has been directed toward the capital intensive industries, not especially a small scale. So that's why, because selling on the land holding, yes, they have enabled more the people to own land and hence their preference to stay with the agriculture. That is also wrong, of course. And D, let's have D is of course worst wrong, because the people are largely unaware of the significance of transition from the agriculture to industry for economic development. No, so that will be also wrong. So D is going to be wrong. So A will be correct answer. Let's next questions. 6 number easy question. The main reason for low growth rate in India in spite of the high rate of the saving and capital formation is, what is that? Is low capital output? No, high capital output ratio. So D will be a correct answer, of course, because the main reason for low growth in India, of course, high capital output ratio. Why it is so? Because as we know, capital output ratio is ratio that shows the unit of the capital development of. Yes, because once again I repeat why it will be high capital output ratio, because capital output ratio is a ratio that shows unit of capital required to produce a certain level of output over a given period of time. So that's why D will be a correct answer. Next questions, which one of the following is correct regarding stabilization and structural adjustment as two components of a new economy policy adopted in India? See, stabilization is, that for temporary, a short-term management for economy, of course, and structural adjustment, that is for long-term. So now it's easy to, of course, attempt these questions. Stabilization is a gradual, multi-step the process. No, stabilization is a short. So that may be wrong. A is going to be wrong. Yes, structural adjustment is a gradual, multi-step process, and stabilization is quick adaptation process. So B will be correct answer. Because as we know, 1991, yes, new economy policy was adopted. Based on Rao Manmohan model, stabilization component of any economy is essentially a short-term program, while the structure readjustment component is a long-term process. So that's why here B will be a correct answer. Which one of the important goal of Indian economy liberalization policy is to achieve the full convertibility of the Indian rupee? This is bang. Of course, it bucket because convertibility. Now see here, just the highlight economy liberalization. by a policy to achieve, of course, full convertibility of Indian rupee. So what will affect? What will impact on the Indian economy? Of course, convertibility of the rupee will stabilize its exchange value against major currency of the world. So it will be correct. It will attract the more foreign capital inflow in India, as far it's correct. And yes, it will help to the promote exports. No, that is not fact. And it will help in India secure loan from the world financial market at attractive terms. No, that will be absolutely wrong. So A is going to be a 8. Yes, why it is so? Because full convertibility of Indian economy means, of course, full convertibility of Indian currency means, yes, the rupee is freely exchangeable. There is no doubt. Yes, into other international currency. So vice versa, of course, also these. Yes, what means that international investor can buy or sell. And yes, Indian asset. And at will after 1994, the rupee was, of course, partially convertible, which means, of course, that the currency is, yes, changed freely into the foreign currency for business, trade expenses, but can't convert it freely for acquiring overseas asset, of course. And experts feel full convertibility of rupee would facilitate growth and higher foreign investment, and that can be also, but here I have to give the priority of A. Now 9th number, C. 9th is through India. Let's have assertion and reason. The first assertions, as we know, is through India's national income has gone up several fold since 1947. There has been no marked improvement in per capita income level, and the reason is sizable a portion of the population of India is still living the poverty of line. No doubt both are either correct, but see, reason is not correct explanation of assertions, definitely, because both fact is accepted from one another. So that's why here which one is going to be correct? Both statement is true, but R is not a correct explanation, so we will here elect B. 8 number, no, that was 9 number, of course. Because why it is so? Because see, as we know that per capita income is a national, of course, net national product at a factor cost. So that's why, of course, we will choose here B. Now let's another. Sorry for delay. Let's say another questions. 2, 10. See, 10 number questions. A redistribution of income in a country can be best brought about through progressive taxation combined with progressive expenditure. No, that's the wrong. Progressive taxation combined with regressive expenditure, of course, that is going to be, because redistribution, we talk about here, redistribution of income in a country can be best, of course, brought about through. So of course B will be, because progressive tax is a process in which as the income of a person increase, rate of income tax on the income also goes up, and regressive tax is a process according to which as the income of the person goes up, rate of tax goes down. So A, yes, progressive tax structure improve the distribution of income. So that's why B will be a correct answer. Number As per in 1991 census, of course, which one of the following state has a lower population density than other three? So, according to 1991, so of course, and there is no doubt that Sikkim is a lower. So, A will be a correct answer. As per 1991 census, the average size of household in terms number of the person per household in respect of the given states follows the sequence highest first, lowest, last according to household. So let's have which one is going to be the correct here. 12 number C is going to be Uttar Pradesh, and there is no doubt then Bengal to the Gujarat and the Kerala. So we will be, of course, and as we know that firstly they have to give the priority of definitely I mean Uttar Pradesh. So because the largest populated, of course, as we know that population in our India, that is so that's why we will eliminate here. And now 50-50 where West Bengal of course, but one thing that you know, Gujarat is more than that, especially I mean Kerala. So definitely B is going to be. And a population is stabilized in Kerala, of course, and there is no doubt. So that's why, of course, I mean B will be here the correct answer. Now, Human Development Index comprises literacy rate, life expectancy at the birth, and third one, what is that? So Human Development Index, of course, how it's estimated on the basis of literacy rate, of course, life expectancy at the birth, and third one, what is that? See, firstly, let you clarify, my dear, SDI or Human Development Index measures achievement is in the term of life expectancy first, second is your literacy, and third is a adjusted real income, that is standard of living. So first SDR, yes, calculation were made in 1990s by, of course, Mehboob ul Haq. That yes, that person is from Pakistan. There is no doubt big contribution in the SDI index. Often that's the persons. So here, of course, the third one is your adjusted. Yes, adjusted real income means standard of living. So what will be answer here? National income per head in USA dollar. This can be 13 is going to be, of course, D, because national income per head in USA dollar means USA dollar it has been given here, but national income per head means definitely that's reflect here what? That is, of course, the standard of living. Yeah, of course, adjusted real income. So that's why, but person name also remind that yes, Mehboob ul Haq. Now 14 number questions. Let's have 14 number India. In India, inflation is measured by wholesaler price index, consumer price index for urban and manual worker, yeah, the consumer the price index for agriculture worker, yeah, national income deflations. On what basis, of course, the inflation is measured? So 14 is going to be, and there is no doubt that the inflation means rise in general price level, of course, over a period of a time be the expectation of a further increase. So it's measured, of course, so it's measured by change in wholesaler price index. Remind you of that. So best year to calculate, of course, the wholesaler price index is 1993 to 94 since April 2002. Sorry, 2000. So here, which one is going to be A will be correct on the basis of inflation is measured on the basis of wholesaler price index. So B. These questions, of course, has been asked in 1997. So let's have last question of this video tutorial. Of course, the given below are the two statements. One level at the assertion, second is your reason. So emergency of economy, global, of course, globalism doesn't imply decline of the socialist ideology. What do you think of that? It doesn't imply? 15. See, absolutely correct, because emergency of economic globalism doesn't imply the decline of the socialist ideology, of course, and ideology of the socialism believe in, yes, universalism and globalism. So, of course, ideology of socialism believe in universalism and globalism. So that is a correct explanation of assertions. Sure, both is going to be correct, and of course the reason is a correct explanation. Why it is so? Because when we're talking about the globalism is the policy of placing the interest of world above those of individual nation, and this also means that there would be free movement of goods and services across the national boundaries, and socialism is economy system, as we know. Yes, socialism is an economy system based on the state ownership of means of the production including capital, and universalism means application of the certain basic principle at the universal level. So now totally cleared of the conception of the globalism, of course, universalism and socialism. According to, of course, the Indian economics and the structures, especially I am talking. Once again, I repeat, globalism is a policy of the placing the interest of world. That's a reflected globalism. Those of the individual nations, of course, and also means that the world will be, world, of course, would be free movement of the goods and services. That will be known as globalism, of course, across the national boundary. And socialism, once again, is an economic system, as we know that, based on the state ownership of means of the production, including capital. And universalism means, of course, the application of a certain basic, the principle at the universal level, of course, and that will be the correct. Now, 16 number. National income is, what is that national income? So national income is, of course, national income is the sum of the total of the factory income. Once again, remind it, the sum total of factory income after adjustment for factory income from abroad has been met. So B will be correct. Yes, that is a net national product at factor cost. So what is the national income? Definitely we can say net national product at factor cost. That will be. Now 70 number questions. The minimum alternative tax MAT was introduced in budget of the government of India for the year when minimum alternative tax was introduced. See, as we know, the MAT here, the minimum alternative tax was introduced in the budget of 96 to 97, as we know. Under the MAT, company is required to pay the minimum tax of 7% book profit in the case of tax on the total income computed under the normal provision of law work out to less than this amount. So that's why 17 is going to be a 95 to 96 to 97, that is, of course. So D is going to be correct. Now let's have 4 questions. Let's just talk immediately. Committee, and of course chaired by that person. So let's have 80 number questions. So we have to correct match. So and the 80 number is going to be a C. Once again, firstly, let you inform one thing that I mean Chela Committee on the taxation reform, of course, that was in 1993, and Omkar Goswami Committee, of course, Omkar Goswami Committee on industrial sickness. So industrial sickness is going to be a Omkar Swami. So this will be, of course, B is going to be 2, and Chela Committee, that is tax reform, of course. So C is going to be a 1, and when it was Chela Committee on the tax reform 1993, Omkar Goswami Committee on the industrial sickness 1994, of course, and Rangaranjan, of course, Rangaranjan Committee on disbursement of the share in public sector, of course, sorry, in PSU, that is 1993. So 1993, and R.N. Malhotra committee was the reforming, of course, insurance sector in 1993. So R.N. Malhotra sector, R.N. Malhotra, that is the insurance, of course, and that is going to be 993. So it's going to be a D. So which one is going to be the correct? So now there will be no doubt, and that's B will be correct answer. This one, A is going to be 4. It has been declared mention, of course. A is going to be a 4, of course, because as we know, A is going to be 4. So B will be correct. Now, according to the latest census figure, sex ratio in India, declining, increasing, stable, fluctuating. What do you think? As we know, of course, and there is no doubt that in 1981 census, the sex ratio in India was, yes, 934. By 1991, it had declined to, yes, 927 per 1,000 men. In 1981, that was, yes, 934 per 1,000 men. In 1991, that was 927 per 1,000 men, and in 2001 census, yes, it that rose to 933 per 1,000 men. So it's so, of course, the fluctuating. Why it is so? Because as we know, 81 that was rise, in 1991 that was declined, and once again in 1990, in 2001 it was raised. So that's why it's a fluctuating. So D will be a correct answer here. What is the correct sequence of, yes, descending order of the following state in respect of the female literacy rate as per 2001 census? Means descending order we have to here add-ins. It's really, of course, tell some questions, but of course anyhow we have to show 20. See, according to census of 2001, correct sequence descending order of the state for female literacy rate is, of course, Kerala is 87.7%, Mizoram is 86.7%, Goa is 76.5%, Nagaland is 61.5%. So of course A will be correct, because firstly we have to, and there should be no doubt that Kerala is yes in page will be firstly descending order. So firstly that will be, of course, 2 will be 2. I have to give the priority option that, because descending order we have to give, of course, 100, 19, of course, 98 and 97 like that. So the Kerala will be highest, as we know that in the literacy rate. So that's why, of course, with the talks about D, the automatically gone, of course, and Nagaland, there is a still, of course, the having the literacy very below. So that's why, of course, we have to give the last arrangement of the Nagaland. So by a strategy, of course, by elimination method also, of course, we can attempt these questions, but accuracy we have to, of course, it's a really toilsome to remember that. So let's have next questions. Once again I repeat, the literacy rate according to the census of 2001, that of course the Kerala 87.7% is literacy rate according to the census of 2001, and Mizoram is 87.7% according to the census of 2001, and Goa is a 76.5% literacy rate of the female in Goa, and Nagaland, of course, the 61.5%. So now next question, according to the World Development Report, low income economics are those for which per capita income, per capita GNP in 1994 was less than. And the talking the according development World Development Report. So I'm the 21 is, of course, the World Development Report was published by World Bank annually, as we know that. So it's going to be a less than, especially 725. So C would be a correct answer. 1998, very fantastic question has been. Capital account convertibility of Indian rupee imply. What is imply capital account convertibility? So as we know, let you inform that the capital account convertibility means free conversion of the cross-border capital flow. So any entity can convert domestic currency into hard currency at the prevailing market and rate and take the hard currency out of the country without need of offering any explanation. So here which one is going to be a C? Let's attempt. A is going to be that Indian rupee can be exchanged by the authorized dealer for travel. No, that is going to be wrong. Yes, that Indian rupee can be exchanged by any measure of the currency for the purpose of the trade and the goods service. Not only for that, and the Indian rupee can be exchanged for any measure currency for the purpose of the trading financial assets. So definitely C is going to be for any. Now 22 the questions. The consumer is said to be in equilibrium if this is the question has been asked, has been that in 1998 by UPSC India. Structure of Indian economics chapter. So 23 is going to be, as we know, the 4. Yes, from the economy point of the views, equilibrium in the is marginal utility derived from the goods consumed and money paid. Goods consumed and money paid. So consumer would be in equilibrium if satisfactions derived from each commodity is equal to each other. So 31 is going to be to able to fulfill his, of course, need with the given level of income. So of course that will be here. Which one is going to be? A will be the correct, because here is asking that the consumer is said to be equilibrium if he is able to fulfill his need with given level of the income. So is going to be. Now the last question of this chapter, supply side economy lays a greater emphasis on the point of view. So 24 is going to be, let you declare my conception. Supply side economy argue that economic growth can be most effectively generated by lowering barriers to produce goods and services. This means existing income. So tax and capital gain tax rate and allowing the greater flexibility in the production assets by reducing government regulation, and according to the approach the consumer will then benefit from the greater supply of the goods and services, which become more available, become available to a lower prices, of course. So which one is going to be a C? Will be have the correct answer. Which one is going to be a correct? That will be a C. What is going to be a has been that I am when we're talking about the C is going to be a, what is the option has been given in the 23 option, the especially 24 is going to be a, that's a consumer, of course, has been that. So C here option has been given that a consumer. Sorry, that's the consumer has been given. Once again I repeat, in the 24 is going to be, of course, the supply side economy argue that economic growth, of course, can be most effectively generated by the lowering the barriers to produce goods and services. This means existing the income tax and the capital gain tax rates, and allowing the greater flexibility in the production the process by reducing the government and the regulation, according to the approach the consumer will then benefit from the greater supply of the goods and the services, which would become available at the lower prices. So thank you very much for watching this video tutorial. Have a great time, and of course, if my video is being the benefited, yeah, if you have been being, of course, if you are being the benefited by, especially in this video tutorial in any way, then please like and subscribe, because really that will inspire to me to make more and more video tutorial that will really assist. I hope that it will assist in your the preparation. And as we know that times the economics question especially always is repeated, not in the, by the UPSC. This concept can be repeated. Also these questions can be also repeated by other examinations like SSC, Staff Selection Commission, of course, and UGC, GAT also, and in all the government competitive exams, also by the, of course, especially Railway Recruit Board. So thank you for watching. Have a great time. Bye. Thank you.